Hi everyone, I'm Manvi Loya and today we're going to talk about what metabolism really is beyond the calorie in, calorie out. Let me start with something I hear all the time in the clinic. I'm eating less than before, I'm working out more than before, so why is nothing changing? And usually this question is followed by guilt, as if the person is failing because the person isn't disciplined enough. But here's the actual truth. If calories in versus calories out worked the way we were taught, weight loss would be so straightforward. Eat less, move more, done. No confusion, no plateaus, no regain. Yet that's not exactly what we see clinically, biologically, or in real life. So today, let's slow this down and actually understand what metabolism really is without the jargon, without fear, and without blaming ourselves. I'm Manvi Roya, I'm a registered dietitian, and through my work with patients and research-driven nutrition, I focus on helping people understand why their bodies respond the way they do, not just what to eat. Most people think metabolism is about how fast you burn calories. So they'll say things like, I have a slow metabolism, or my metabolism is really bad. But metabolism is not a single switch you're born with. Metabolism is how your body manages energy to keep you alive. That includes how your brain functions, how your hormones respond to food, how much muscle you have, how well you sleep, how you handle stress, and how safe your body feels in its environment. In fact, about 60 to 70% of the calories you burn each day have nothing to do with exercise. They're used just to keep your organs functioning, such as breathing, circulation, temperature regulation, and immune activity. So metabolism is not about burning calories, it's about energy management. And this is where the calorie in, calorie out idea starts to fall apart. Because your body is not a calculator, it's a survival system. So here's something that I usually share with a lot of my patients also. Two people actually came to me. They had the same height, similar weight, similar age. Both were eating roughly the same calories. One was losing weight, the other was exhausted, old, bloated, and feeling stuck. If calories were the only factor, then this wouldn't happen, right? The difference is not their willpower. It's about how their bodies perceive energy availability. Your body is constantly asking one question. Is it safe to spend energy or should I conserve it? When you eat enough, sleep well, manage stress reasonably, your body feels safe because energy can be spent for fat loss, muscle repair, and hormonal balance. But when your energy intake drops too low for too long or stress stays chronically high, your body adapts. This is not a theory. This is a well-established physiology. One of the earliest demonstrations of this was the Minnesota starvation experiment in the 1940s. Healthy young men were placed on moderate calorie restriction, not extreme, and over time they developed slowed metabolism, fatigue, depression, cold intolerance, and intense food preoccupation. Their bodies weren't broken, but they were adapting. Modern research continues to show this. Studies on long-term dieting and weight loss, including follow-ups from shows like The Biggest Loser, have shown that metabolic rate can remain suppressed years after weight loss, especially when weight loss is achieved through aggressive calorie restriction. Your body remembers perceived scarcity, and this adaptation shows up in ways people don't expect. Hunger hormones increase, satiety hormones decrease, resting energy expenditure drops, spontaneous movement recedes, digestion slows. So people say, I'm eating less but nothing is happening. Something is happening, just not what they want. This is especially important for women. Your female body is biologically designed to be more sensitive to energy availability because it has to support not just survival but reproduction. When the energy feels low, body prioritizes essentials and down regulates what is seen as non-essential. This is why many women notice weight gain, hair fall, missed periods, fatigue, or mood changes after prolonged dieting. Not because they failed, but because the body adapted. I often explain metabolism like a phone battery. It enters low power mode. The screen dims, background apps stop, your performance slows. You don't get angry at your phone, just charge your phone. But with our bodies, we do the opposite. We push harder, we eat less, we exercise more, we add caffeine. Then we wonder why we crash. Metabolism is not something you punish into submission. It's something you support. And this is where nutrition science needs to be reframed. Instead of asking, how few calories can I eat? Does my body feel safe enough to let go of weight? Because fat loss happens in state of biological safety, not in threat. Adequate nutrition, enough protein, sufficient carbohydrates, good sleep, and manageable stress, these aren't luxuries, these are your metabolic signals. When those signals are present, the body doesn't cling to energy, it uses it. So if you've been stuck despite doing everything right, I want you to hear this very clearly. Your body is not broken, your metabolism is not damaged beyond repair, and weight loss is not a moral achievement. It's a biological outcome. In the next video, I'll talk about how chronic dieting specifically disrupts metabolism and what actually helps restore it in a sustainable way. Because nutrition isn't about control, it's about understanding. And once you understand metabolism, food stops feeling like the enemy and starts feeling like information. If this helped you see metabolism a little different, stay with the channel. At Science to Plate, we don't simplify food into roles. We explain how the body works so you can make your decisions without fear. So in the next video, we'll cover a different topic, and I really hope that helps you and that makes you feel more informed and better about your food. Thank you.